It is rightly said by Ralph Waldo Emerson, there is no better way to exercise the imagination than study of the law. So hello and welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Ruby Gill, and I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all on the behalf of lovely professional university. So we all are gathered here virtually to witness an incredible session with our experts today, as she is going to tell us all about how to use right information. So before we commence, let me introduce the experts of the session. Ms. Neeru Mittal, Head, School of Law, Lovely Professional University, an ardent academician with specialization in constitutional and criminal laws with an experience of more than 12 years. She is a keen observer and learner and has been making regular addition to her portfolio by participating in research-based programs. She is centered towards areas like emotional intelligence, educational leadership, and new pedagogical tools. To her credit, she has been awarded Best Faculty of School of Law in the field of RTI. Moreover, she has guided around filing of 200 RTI applications. So, ma'am, it's a privilege to have you on board with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, ma'am, for inviting me as an expert here.
So with equal pleasure, we have with us our admission nominee. So I welcome Ms. Rachna Bajaj, Senior Assistant, Lovely Professional University. So she will provide us the information about admission process, eligibility, scholarship, infrastructure, and other highlights of our university. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. So with this, we'll begin our today's webinar and looking forward for a great interactive session. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all onto this virtual platform. You all might be wondering that why we are sitting here and how this RTA is going to be very beneficial for we people. Let me tell you, right information is one of the master tools which has been provided to the people by the government, so that wherever you feel like that you are not aware what the government is doing for the people, you can ask the government authorities, the public authorities, that what they have done so far, and if they are lacking, then what are the reasons for doing so. So in this today's session, we will be talking about how to use this masterpiece, how to use this, master tool, that is right to information. So in this today's session, we'll be talking about the meaning, the drafting, and the filing of the RTA application. We'll be, talking about the process of filing of the RTA application, that how you can go for the RTA application by way of the postal orders, or nowadays we are into the 21st century, it's a virtual era. We all are right now talking in a virtual meet only, that how the online portals which the respective state governments as well as the central government has provided to we people, how to make sensible use of them to make use of this particular right, that is filing of an RTI application. So we'll be focusing on 5 major aspects here: what, when, where, why, and how an RTI. When we are going to talk about what an RTI is, people might have heard about that understanding the right to know. We have right to know. We have freedom of speech and expression, and under that we have a right to know also that what our governments are doing for we people. We are a democratic country, world's largest democracy we are, and as a result we have been given few rights, and one of the major right which we all possess is right to know. And then we'll be talking about how to identify the departments from where you can receive information. We'll be talking about the public departments, we'll be talking about the private departments. My dear, we cannot file RTIs onto the private bodies, private organizations, private institutions. We people can file RTIs only and only onto the public authorities which have been enlisted itself into this RTI Act 2005. And then the third process we'll be talking about today is how to call for such information, then how to file for the RTI, how you can have the information which you virtually want to have, and then is how to write an effective application. If you want to have an information, you have to ask for the information. And how to ask for the information, that is how to write an effective application. What are the do's and the don'ts we'll be talking about today? What are the procedural formalities which might have been enlisted under this act that we are going to focus? And then the common pitfalls to avoid while drafting your applications. Normally what happens, while we used to go for the RTA applications, we used to write the applications of 5 to 10 pages long and all that. And the lengthy applications, my dear, they all are being rejected by the department straightforward. So you have to be very crux, you have to be very, very careful while finding these, RTIs, so that you can get the information which you really want to have. So before, I should go to the practical aspects so that I can teach you the, those interfaces and the tools which the governments have provided to the people. I think we all should be aware about what the information is and what right to information is. As I've already told you, it's one of the basic fundamental right under Article 19(1)(a) of the Indian Constitution. As Article 19, we all know it talks about the 6 freedoms, and the very first freedom which Article 19 deals is, that is freedom of speech and expression. And speech and expression, as I've already told you, it is directly related to the democracy. We are the masters and we have the right to know about the working of the government. And to ensure this, the government has enacted this Right to Information Act in 2005, which provided for the machinery for exercising this fundamental right. And it has empowered we the people, that is the normal citizens, to question the government and its work. And this has widely been used by the citizens and the media to uncover corruption, progress in the government work, expenses related information, etc. And if I have to move further, applicability of the act. To whom this act applies? Can a foreigner file an RTI? Then the answer here is no. So only an Indian citizen, has a right to apply for the RTI. And it is applicable to all the constitutional authorities, agencies owned and controlled substantially or financially by the respective state governments or the central governments. And those bodies are known as what? Public authorities, my dear. And in case those public authorities, they will not supply you the information within a stipulated time period, then those bodies, they will be penalized also. So this is the tool which we'll be talking during the, end, that how you people can file for the online RTIs. This is the official website of the Government of India, where you can go and you can log your request with respect to any of the department you are having issues. I'll be giving you a live demo of the same. Then objectives. Why this RTI? As I already told you, the objective is to empower we the people so that we can question the government. It ensures transparency, it ensures accountability in the working of the government, because government knows that if they might not be working for we the people, because we are the one who are the taxpayers. Government is working on to our money only. At any time we can make the government liable. That, sir, kindly please let me know what you have done so far and why you have not done so this. So it helps in containing corruption in the government and work for the people in a better way. And it has ensured better formed citizen who would keep necessary vigil about the functioning of the government machineries. So the next is, what type of information can be questioned through RTIs? You people might have heard about the surgical strikes. You people might have heard about, recently, few days ago, only Supreme Court has declared this, note ban as a constitutionally valid move by the central government way back into the 2016. There was a public interest litigation filed onto it, that whether this, banning of the currency by that time, was it a constitutionally valid one or not. So the objective here is that whether we can file an RTI onto the government, that please let us know that why you came up with these kind of policies, that why we were not made aware about that, why government has gone for the surgical strikes, the policy matters. You cannot file RTIs onto the government that let me know what policy you people are going to come up in the near future. So this act itself has enshrined the topics or the areas where you can go, where you can file for the RTIs. There are certain informations which you cannot have while filing an RTIs. For example, information relating to the internal security. I have given you the example of that surgical strike, like relationship with the foreign countries. You might have heard about this black money with the into the Swiss banks and all that. You cannot file an RTI onto the government that please let me know that who are the account holders into the Swiss banks. Reason being, because government has entered into an agreement with the Swiss bank authorities that in case they will be sharing the information with the government will not share that sensible data with we the people. The intellectual property rights, IPRs, like patent, like trademarks and all that, and the cabinet discussions. Cabinet discussions, as I've already given you the example, that government want to come up with a new, any law, new policy, any rule, regulation, ordinance they want to come up with. You cannot file an RTI onto the Council of Ministers or the PMO office that please let me know what you have dealt, what you have deliberations into the cabinet meetings and all that. All they have been exempted from the RTIs. Then, for what you can ask for the information? You can ask for that information which the government authorities are authorized to disclose to the parliament. So, if I have to move further, need of the RTI. I hope so far you people are clear with the concept that the kind of information you can ask for and the kind of information which is exempted under the RTI. Then need of RTI. That why you should be aware about this RTI tool, why you should be also aware about it, how to file the RTI and how to make maximum utilization of this tool. Don't you think that you should also be a change maker? Don't you think that you can also file RTI application? And if yes, then you might be wondering how to file an RTI, how to address your everyday issues. In your everyday life, you might have been, going through so many issues, so many challenges and all that, but you might be, looking for, the resources who will be taking care of this or that issue of mine, who will be assisting me out. But let me tell you, you yourself can assist you. But thing is, you should be aware about your rights. You should be aware about the remedies which law itself has provided you people, and one of that remedy which government has provided you is that is an RTI. So the ultimate objective, of this particular topic is that how to draft your applications effectively. So as there is no ambiguity left for the public information officer, this PIO here stands out for the public information officers. My dear, as I've already told you, that you can file RTIs only and only onto whom? Public authorities. Now the various governmental departments of the respective these governmental bodies and all that, they have appointed their own public information officer. Every government department, every public authority, it has its own public information officer, and you will get the detailing related to the PIO onto the official website, or in case you are visiting by your own the office of that governmental agency, the information relating to the PIO, that from whom you can get the information under the RTI. And at the same time, it ensures that all important information is duly received by you people, that there is no undue delays in processing your application. So right to information, my dear, has nowhere prescribed any set format for filing the application. You might have heard about the standard chartered contracts or the documents or the formats. For example, if you want to in the application, it is entirely up to you that what you want to include into your application. You have to be very, very careful. You have to be very, very careful while filing for the RTI application and while drafting your RTI application. And the objective of RTI should be simple. That is to enable the public authority to give you the information you seek for. It should not be a lengthy application. It should not be too small that the other person is not able to figure out that what you people are asking out of him. So you have to be very careful. Before moving further, you should be aware you can file an RTI application, as I've already told you, all the Indian citizens. Even if you're living abroad, you possess the right to seek the information. But the very first important factor, first and the last important factor which you should remember is that you should be an Indian citizen. But if you're a person of Indian origin, you might have heard about the NRIs. If you are a person of Indian origin, not foreign national can avail the benefits under this act. That means foreigners or the NRIs, they are not allowed to file for the RTIs under this RTI Act. For this, you should be an Indian citizen. And the another thing is the person should be an individual one. You should not be a corporation. You should not be a society. You should not be a public authority. For example, Reliance is a corporation. Satyam is a corporation. We have various societies also. We have various NGOs also. We have various, trust also. We have various governmental bodies like public authorities and all that. For example, district court, can it file a RTI onto the High Court? No. Police stations, can they, Suvidha centers, can they file RTI onto the, any other office? No. So only an individual has been given the right to file an RTI. That individual should be an Indian citizen. He should not be a foreigner. He should not be a person of Indian origin. He should not be a corporation. He should not be a society, or he should not be any public authority. That means who can file an RTI application? We all are eligible to file for the RTI application. To move further, language. As I've already told you, nowhere it has been prescribed that which format you have to follow. Plus, RTI has nowhere also prescribed the kind of language, which language you have to follow. It could be in English, it could be in Hindi, it could be in the official language of the state in which the department lies. You want to file an RTI in Punjab, you can be in Punjabi. You want to file an RTI in Tamil Nadu, you can be in Tamil. In Gujarat, you can follow the Gujarati. So RTA makes no provision to demand answers in the language of your choice. But now, as I told you, that it is not mandatory for you to, follow a specific language. You are in Punjab, but you are from Gujarat. You are residing in Punjab, you are from Gujarat. Now the thing is, which language you will be writing your RTA application? Any language of your choice you can write. You can be in English, Hindi, Gujarati, Punjabi. Okay, fine. But now the thing is, can you force the RTI, PIO, that the PIO should also revert you into the Gujarati just because you cannot understand English, Hindi or Punjabi? And the answer is no. You cannot force. The PIO will reply your application in the language of the office. But in case one gets troubled when the reply to the application is given in a language they cannot comprehend, in that case, it is preferable that while writing an application, you should request the PIO that the answer should be in this particular language. Or always write your application in the language in which you wish to receive a reply. If you wish the person to reply you in Hindi, make sure you write your application in Hindi. But as I've already told you, as a precautionary measure, it is always advisable to mention in your application clearly the language in which you seek to reply. But there is one exception, my dear. Law always works with exception. When you will be joining law, you will get to know what these exceptions or the provisos have a role to play over there. There is one exception. As I've told you that you wish the PIO to reply you into the language of your choice. Okay, fine. But what about the documents which are into the state language, or the documents which are in a specific language of that department only? So in that case, PIO will not translate the documents in the language you understand. To simplify it further, you filed an application in Gujarati. You wish the PIO to reply you into the Gujarati. Perfectly fine with. PIO will answer you into the Gujarati. But in case the information which you are looking for is in Punjabi only, because you have filed an RTI, you have filed an RTI in Jalandhar, and the document which PIO have with him is in Punjabi only. So in that case, PIO will not translate the document in the language you understand. So it is not only it is the only his reply that can be given in the preferred language, not the content of the documents which you are seeking for. So please be very careful onto it, that what language you should be writing your application, in which language you want the PIO to revert you, and what could be the language of the document in case you are asking for the document as a reply. So then comes, what are the other important fields to be covered in an application? First is addressee and address. Obviously, if you're writing someone an application, you'll be mentioning about yourself. You'll be talking about your, name, your address, your city, your contact details, and all that. But what happens? Many organizations, they give out the name of the officers who have been designated, as I've already told you, PIO, on their websites. In that case, you can, directly contact them. And it is always advisable for you people to mention the name of the PIO whenever feasible, to ensure that your application reaches the correct department. Addressee and address. You are the addressee, you are the one who is writing an application. And the address where you are sending your application should also be a correct one. So do mention the name of the public information officer clearly where you want to send your application. And then your details also, obviously, name and address of the applicant. You must write down your name, postal address of the place you wish to receive your information at. Make sure that the information provided is accurate enough, because this could be the address at which PIO could be, corresponding with you people. And then, as we have already dealt, I think I will be skipping this, because we know that who can, have the rights to file for the RTI. Then comes particular of information required. What sort of information you can ask for? And this is the most important segment. You're going to the doctor and you're not describing what ailment you have. Obviously, doctor won't be able to provide you the perfect medication. So it's like that you're going to the doctor, you are, describing what, issues you have, what ailments you have, and you want the doctor to provide you the accurate treatment. So similar to that, here you have to, break down all the information, sort in a systematic manner, so as to ensure that the reader, that is the PIO, is able to, find out correctly that what you are expecting from him. It's not like that, you are having a, headache and you are going to a doctor who deals with the ENT and all. You'll be going to a doctor who is of, expert of all these, of the concern ailment you might be. So for your convenience, you are suggested that you should, you should classify the information. For example, subject matter of the information. What sort of information you are looking for? What kind of records you are seeking for? They are pertaining to what? For example, appointment to a particular post. Whose records you are seeking for? Are you seeking for the, for example, the records of the appointment of the chancellor, vice chancellor, president of a particular governmental department and all? With which department? Is it a labor department, any other government, government of West Bengal, state government and also? For example, you want to have a copy of the contract signed by Messrs. Akhil Bhartiya Amrit Paryavaran Samiti to operate and maintain the public toilet in the Jagdamba camp in the Sheikh Sarai 1, New Delhi. So obviously you'll be, classifying your information over there. That what kind of records you are seeking for, pertaining to what, whose records you are seeking for, and concerning with which particular department. And very, very important, the period to which that information relates. Are you looking for the information of 1 year only, 2 year only, or a specific month only, or of a decade only? You have to specify over there the time period of which you are seeking for the information. Otherwise, it will become really very difficult for the PIO to supply you the information. And then the another important segment here is how you want the information to be supplied to you, by post or by post. You can mention the same, that whether you want the reply to be furnished to you in person or by post. And one another important aspect is, if you want to inspect the documents, RTI has provided you one another facility. One facility is that you can seek for the information, and the another facility is that you can inspect the documents. And if you wish to view the documents, you have to mention clearly in the column that I wish to have a inspection of this particular document. For instance, you want to view a letter that has been sent under your name to a public authority, by the public authority to another organization. So in that case, you can file an RTI application and expressly mention that you want to conduct the inspection of some particular documents, and I want to go through these documents. And then comes C. As we have been talking a lot about, this is our major tool which has been given to we people by the government to ensure the transparency, to ensure that we work as a perfect democratic setup and all. The next thing is, can you have the information free of cost, or you have to pay something? My dear, if you belong to the BPL status, below poverty line, if you are below poverty line, then you are not required to pay any fee. But in case you are not below poverty line, then you have to pay a very minimum amount. And that minimum amount is rupees 10 only. That minimum amount is rupees 10 as a fee which you have to pay. I hope you people are clear with. with respect to the BPL status and the amount of fee which you have to pay. And then comes the information you are seeking from the department. When we'll be going for the practical, then I'll give you this concept more clearly. You have filed an RTI onto the Ministry of Defense, but that information Ministry of Defense don't possess. Now, in that case, what should be the consequences? Should Ministry of Defense reject your RTI? You might be saying, why? I was not aware that who is the appropriate authority in front of whom I should go for the RTI. So in that case, that public information officer of the Defense Ministry is duty bound that they have to transfer your application to the concerned public information officer. They will transfer such application to the relevant public authority within 5 days of the receipt of the application, and if the concerned department who won't possess that information is not doing so as per section 6 subsection 3 of the RTI, they can also be made liable under this act. Are you getting the powers which has been given to we the people, irrespective of the fact that I have filed RTI to a wrong department? Even then that department has to help me out within the first 5 days of filing of my application. So the rights we know, there are certain duties also. Duties while writing an RTI, that you should provide the place from where your application is written and the date on which it is written. You must end the application with your signatures and the contact details. You should provide your contact phone numbers, the email addresses, and you should write down the details of your enclosures in case you have attached any documents and all that. For example, you want to claim the benefit of the BPL, then you should obviously attach the document for the same, the certificate for the same, and the fee. Otherwise, I have already discussed with you. Now, how to pay? You can pay by check, by demand draft, or by cash. Then moving further, the applicant, there is a further provision that the applicant making a request for information shall not be required to give any reason for requesting the information. Now, the very next thing is, you want to file an RTI. Why you want to file an RTI? Are you required to mention the same in your application? No. You're not required to give the reason that why I want to have this information. Or you're not even supposed to give other personal details except those that might be necessary for contacting you. It might not be mandatory to provide the marital status of yours while filing an RTI. It is of no use over there. No? It might be required in few of the departments while filing the RTI, but not in every department, that whether you're married or not. So you're not supposed to give any reason that why you're requesting the information. So moving further, do's and don'ts of writing an effective application. As we have been talking a lot about that, what should be part and parcel of the application, what should be part and parcel of the effective RTA application, then you all should remember that what are the do's and don'ts. Please be very, very careful while writing an RTA application in near future, that what you should mention and what you should avoid. The very first is, your primary focus should be to get the information only. Sometimes what happens when we are filing RTI, we used to get emotional. How? We lose track of what it is we seek and start focusing on how to stop wrongdoings. For example, how to penalize officials, how and the corrupt contractors, how to make the authorities answerable for the negligence, or asking the authorities about their opinions on particular issues, applications on the law itself. COVID, we all are now, you have all the rights to file for the RTIs onto the concerned departments. that how much funds they received to ensure the adequate supply of the oxygen. But you will not, file an RTI to ask that which person has not, taken care of that there is adequate supply of the, oxygen cylinder to the concerned hospitals and all that. That is to be taken care of by the governmental bodies. Your right here is to seek the information only. So if you will be, mentioning these kind of issues, then your applications, my dear, they will turn into the long stories full of allegations and the accusations, and they'll focus on the information. Will get lost, and you won't be getting what you want to actually have from the concerned department. And moreover, RTI authority, is not the decision-making authority, not the authorized spokesperson of the public authorities from which you are asking for the information. So no useful information can be gained by asking questions about legal or the other kind of the opinions. Now, why to have for the opinions? The enactment itself is titled as right to information. It won't talk about the opinions and all that. No doubt, you might have heard about the concept of the whistleblowers and all that, that the RTI activists, they are known as the whistleblowers, that they are filing the various RTIs, to gather the information with respect to the, corruption and all that. But they are not asking for the opinions. Though ultimate goal is to curb corruption, to stop the continuance of the offense or some other, bigger needs. But writing application, we must first ensure that we get the information only. Then, on the basis of that information, go to the respective authorities and find the, required necessary actions. For example, manual scavengers, we know it's an offense now. Manual scavenging cannot be allowed, but still it goes on, and people are still coming, to their, jobs and all that, just to earn bread and butter. And we have a, law, Manual Scavenger Act, according to that the person has to be paid rupees 10 lakh in case the person will come to the, scam to during the, cleaning of these bore wells and all that, gutters and all. But actually they are not being paid. So you can file an RTI that how many have died during, this process, and have they been paid with the adequate amount as, given into the enactment. You'll get the answer, and on the basis of that answer, you can go to the respective authorities. You can file for the cases and all that. There is a corruption in this, that the person has not actually been paid. Why have we talking about this? Because we itself figured out 2 such cases in the Jalandhar district, my dear. On paper, they were paid rupees 10 lakh each. But when we had a, actual conversation with the families, they were not even paid a single penny. And then we filed the, corruption charges against the concerned authorities who supplied that information to the people, that this was the person who has, paid rupees 10 lakh to this particular member of the family. This is what the objective of RTI is. Ultimate objective is to curb corruption, but the thing is, you cannot ask for the opinions. So some tips that will help you to draft your application precisely and effectively are: give the details of the document sort clearly. Always keep your application short, crunchy, and specific. Be minimalistic so that the PIO is not overburdened and he is happy to give you the information. You can ask for the information, but not for the reasons. I am, focusing a thrust again onto it. You can only ask for the information. I have given you the example with respect to the manual scavenging. I have given you the example of, this COVID oxygen supply and all, but you cannot ask for the reasons. And know when to ask for the inspection, and be very clear over there. Do your homework well and complete all the formalities. If you really want to have good marks, you should do your homework well. Same here. While drafting RTI, you should be very, very careful. Complete all the formalities which we have read so far. So it is easy for you to expect all the papers sought to come to you and information to reach you within the 30 days. The minimum time period within which the PIO has to revert you is 30 days. And if within 30 days PIO is not giving you the reply, then you can file for the, first appeal, and that PIO can be held liable for the same. And then pay the requisite amount of fee. And then the last one is send your application. You should send the application with fee by registered post, speed post, avoid submitting in person. Avoid courier also. RTA applications can be filed online as well, as I have told you in the very beginning also. Make sure you are filling all the requisite details and attach all the relevant documents with your applications, and the don'ts. Don't write fictitious or the frivolous applications. Don't bleed to get information. Don't ask the questions which require, very lengthy answers over there. And please don't write your complaints or grievances. Seek only information. Don't infringe into the privacy of the others. Ask for the opinions, ask for the information. Don't ask for the opinions, sorry, ask for the information. And don't confuse with the vague expressions and the terms. Don't put the information officer to sleep, my dear. I hope I'm not putting you people to the sleep right now. You all are awakened enough. And don't send out your first draft immediately. Prepare a rough draft and then finalize it. Only then you should file your RTI. So with this, I hope you people are clear with the process that how to file for the RTI. And now I would like to go for the the online interface. I'll show you that interface, that how you people can file for the RTIs by your own online tool. Central government, my dear, has itself provided the online tool, online website of the Government of India, where you government with respect to the public authorities which are being controlled by the central government. But when it comes to the state government, then you can explore for the respective state bodies. I hope it's perfectly fine.
Ma'am, I believe there is some kind of internet lag from your side. I'm unable to hear you.
Ma'am, is it now fine? Is it now
Yes,
fine?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is it now fine? Should we
Ye-
continue? I was,
yes,
asking
of course,
you
ma'am.
to come up with the polls first, so that, then
All right.
go for the online workshop. And do
Sure,
have,
ma'am.
feedback from the students that so far the concept which we have elaborated, are the people clear with that or not? Do they have any query onto it so far?
Done, ma'am. I have launched the poll.
Okay. So my dear students, we have the very first poll available for you. I'll be going to that online portal. Have you heard about the PM Care Fund COVID? Answers so far we have got The answer is yes. My dear, your answer is wrong. Here the answer is no. The intentions which you had, the same intentions I had. The PM Care Fund should fall into the, the definition of public authority under the RTI Act, but it doesn't fall under the RTI. How and why? For that, you are required to join law, my dear. Come to law. We have so many issues to discuss. We have so many provisions, so many deliberations are going on that why it should fall under law and why it should not fall under the definition of public authority. So I hope now we can move to the next also. Ruby ma'am, can we move to the next poll?
Sure, ma'am. Give me a moment.
Yes, ma'am. So the next is the Office of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India. Can you file an RTI onto the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India? What's your opinion onto it? What's your word onto it? Does it fall within the ambit of the RTI? Yes, no. Office of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India. What's your opinion onto it? I'm waiting for the responses here. Okay, this time the answer is yes. Yes, you are correct, my dear. Office of the Supreme Court of India, earlier, way back in 2013, it was said that it is not subjected to the RTI, but in 2019, it has been said that it falls under the ambit of the RTI. How? Why? Again, welcome to law. This is what the scope of law is. This is how RTI is related to the law field. This is why you people should join law. So with this, Ruby ma'am, I think now I can move to, this is all with the polls. Can I move to the,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
should we
ma'am.
go with the online?
Of course, ma'am.
Just a second, ma'am. I hope it is, my screen is visible to you all.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Okay. So this is the portal which Government of India has if you want to file for the online RTI. It has many tabs: home, submit request, submit first appeal. If the reply which RTI office has given to you is not acceptable to you, you can file for the first appeal from here. You can view the status of your application from here. You can view the history. You can log in from here. User manual they have given you. How you can contact with the governmental office. They'll let you know, and the frequently asked questions and all. And here you can search for the public authority against whom you want to file for. So I'll go to the home first so that you people can get to know from where to start. This is how it will look like when you will be, making an attempt to file for the online RTI. This is how the page officially look like. Then you will move to the next page, that is submit request. When you will click onto it, my dear, there are certain guidelines which you people should read first before filing for the RTI online. They have provided you 21 points here. You have to read them. Click onto it. After reading everything, and then you will submit then you will move to this page, online RTI request form. Now, first is public authority details. Which public authority, which ministry you want to file for? All the departments of the Government of India. I am mentioning it again, my dear. This online tool of the Government of India deals with the public authorities of the central government. All the governmental department of the Government of India are enlisted here. You can select any one of your choice. Anyone. For example, Ministry of Ayush, you want to file related to the health. You might have heard about the Ayushman Bharat scheme. Then you need to select the public authority again. For example, Ministry of Ayush, you want to go for the National Institute of, these are the Further departments which are being taken care of by the Ministry of Ayush. Parent department is this Ministry of Ayush. Then these are the public authorities which are listed under the Ministry of Ayush. This is how you will figure out under all the ministries. Then you will be providing your email ID, your contact details. You will confirm your email ID again, your name, your gender. Have a look, male, female, and then there is a third gender, my dear. All thanks to the Supreme Court, all thanks to the RTI. Then you'll be giving your address, your PIN code, your country. In case you are Indian citizen, but you are residing outside, then you will be clicking your other. Then your state, drop down, you will be selecting from here. Then you will select your status, your educational status, literate, illiterate. That's all. This is what they're asking. They're not asking you to give the details, further, like below 12 standard, mention it. Then you'll be mentioning your contact number. And then, are you Indian citizen? You'll be mentioning Indian or other. In case you are other, it will not provide you to, the access further. And whether you are below poverty line, if yes, you need to attach the, if you say yes here, you have to, attach the certificate here, year of issue and the issuing authority, who issued you that certificate. And then what is the text for your RTA application, what you want to ask for. You'll be mentioning in crux your information here that this is the data which I want to seek from the concerned department. And there is no need to upload your Aadhaar card or PAN card or any other personal, identification except the BPL card. PDF file name should be less than 12 alpha. These are the requirements which they have provided you. And the supporting documents, if you want to, upload the document, upload the proof of the BPL, that's all. And then you have to enter the security code and then you'll be submitting. That's all, nothing else. And they have provided you one facility. If you're not able to, not able to figure out the things out there, you can, click onto this, the things will speak for you. The system will speak for you if you're not able to see what is written here. And then you'll be submitting your request. I hope you people are clear with the online process of filing of an RTI, and you can select the language also from here, English or Hindi. And if you click here, you'll get to know the public authorities which are available against whom you can file the RTI. Have a look, the complete information they have provided you. And if you'll click onto it, the further departments in the Department of the Agriculture, Research and Education, you'll get to know against whom you can file for the RTI. It's up to you. Government has provided you various tools. What information you seek to ask for? Just a second. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay. I'll be showing you the various tools, which respective states have. For example, RTI Punjab. Just click onto it. This is how the portal will look like. You can create your own digital Punjab account here. And if you already had an account, you can, log in or official login for the departments they have given you. This is the RTI Office of the online RTI tool by the respective state government, that is state of Punjab, government of Punjab. Same way, if you want me to show you, just a second, on RTI. This is what the official web page of the state of Haryana. You need to give your user ID. You need to give your password. And you can log in. But in case you won't have an account there, go to citizen login. And when you're going to the citizen login, if you already had an account, then user ID password. But if you are a new user, you want to register, click onto it and you will register here. And then enter your mobile number, the security code, submit, and you will be able to file an online RTI to the public authority under the government of the Haryana. Same way, all the respective state governments, my dear, has provided you the various tools so that you can go and be a vigilant citizen and can ask for your rights from the concerned public authority. That's all from my side. I hope I have tried my best and you people will be able to, use your this right to claim maximum of your, unanswered queries or the rights which you feel like they are being violated by the concerned public authorities. With this, thank you very much. I would like to, have a special thanks to the School of Law, Lovely Professional University, for selecting me for, this webinar, and special thanks to the team admission LPU. And over to you, Ruby ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for quite an impactful presentation. You have bounded us with your visionary thoughts. And attendees, I'm sure you must have upgraded your skills by the inputs and learning shared by ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Rachel ma'am, you can continue with the admission part now.
Okay, I'll just share my PPT and okay, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible to everyone.
Okay, great. So good evening, everyone. I hope you all are fine and safe at your home. So I'll be just quickly sharing some of the parameters which you should be considering before taking admission in any university as a student. So first up in the list, we have LPU creating history when 12 out of 13 students won Olympic medals and brought laurels to the country. Moving ahead with one of the most important aspect, which is the rankings, I suppose. And if I talk about LPU, these are some of the rankings which LPU has achieved. First up in the list, we have the World University Rankings 2023, where LPU has been ranked 23rd amongst top universities of India, amongst both government and private universities. Further, we have the NIRF ranking by Ministry of Education, Government of India, where LPU has been ranked 47th amongst all government and private universities in India. As we are talking about our law students, law programs, we also have Ministry of Education rankings by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, where LPU has been ranked 13th, especially for School of Law amongst all government and private law institutions in India. We also have the impact rankings, the Times Higher Education Impact Ranking 2022, where LPU has been ranked 74th globally. Further, we have Atal rankings of institution or innovation and achievements, where LPU has been ranked 3rd in India. And the list goes on, guys. These are some of the rankings which I have just shared with you. Further, we have the campus life and exposure offered. As a student, make sure that you enjoy your campus life. And if I talk about LPU students have got ample of opportunities to interact with Nobel laureates, participate in national and international level events as well. So let's show you a quick glimpse of some of the events which LPU students have witnessed and participated till date. We have 106th Indian Science Congress with the focal theme Future India Science and Technology, which was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji in LPU campus. Further, we had Nobel laureate, the 14th Dalai Lama chairing the 5th convocation at LPU. We also had former President of India, late Shri Pranab Mukherjee, for the 3rd convocation at LPU Professional University. We had late Shri Arun Jaitley ji for the inauguration of LPU Startup School. As we can see, LPU also focuses on entrepreneurship programs as well. A familiar face, a motivational speaker, Gaur Gopal Das ji. He was here at campus and interacted with the students and motivated them about life. Some familiar faces, heartthrobs of India, rather all over the world. We had Shah Rukh Khan in campus, we had Sonam Kapoor, we conducted Coke Studio by Amit Trivedi. We also had MS Dhoni, the cricketer, and several other celebrities in the campus for the entertainment of students, you can say. Further, another important aspect, the infrastructure, because you will be making several memories in these classrooms, in these auditoriums, you will be working in the laboratories which are being offered by an institution. So make sure you go through the infrastructure once you are inquiring or going through any university or college to take admissions. This is an inside view of our central library, and I would like to share that this is a 9-storied library with approximately 20 lakh books available for our students in online and offline mode as well. We have 3 amphitheaters where several nukkad nataks, cultural events take place for our students. An inside view of our Shanti Devi Mittal indoor auditorium with a capacity of 2,500 participants approximately. An outside view of our university mall. Apart from academics, we want our students to have other facilities and enjoy their university life. This university mall has all the basic facilities, be it related to stationery, electronic gadgets, clothing, dominoes, bowling area, a gymnasium for our students inside the university campus and this university mall. Apart from this, we also do not want our students to go through any health issues. We have hospital facilities available inside the campus in case of any emergencies. This is an outside view of our Shanti Devi Mittal Indoor Stadium, which has several sports facilities like proper Olympic level all-weather swimming pool, 12 badminton courts, shooting area. Apart from this, we have squash rooms, basketball courts, volleyball courts. Apart from the indoor stadium, this is an outside view of our open playgrounds. A beautiful picture clicked by one of our students and a mesmerizing night view of our university hostels. So this was about some of the important parameters which you should be considering before taking admission in any university. Now let's talk about like how you can apply in our university if you are applying for admissions for the academic session 2023. I hope Dr. Ruby, my screen is visible and the website is visible. Dr. Ruby?
Yes, ma'am.
I hope my website is visible, the screen is visible.
No, ma'am. We can see the presentation, the last slide of the presentation only.
Okay, I hope now it is visible.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible now.
Great. So what you have to do is just simply visit our website, which is lpu.in, www.lpu.in. And on the top, you can see an icon of admissions where we have listed all the programs as per your eligibility, be it after 10th programs, be it after 12th programs, after graduation programs, or after post-graduation programs for PhDs. So let's say if you are interested in any after 12th program, just click on it. And all the programs which are available in LPU will be right in front of you. If I talk about management, commerce, law programs. So as we have students from law background today, I'll just quickly show you what is the criteria to apply for law program and what is the eligibility and etc. So I'll just click on law. And here we have two law programs. We have BA LLB undergraduate program, BA LLB honors, and we have BBA LLB honors. So I'll just click on it. And as you can see, we have listed the duration. It goes for 5 years with total 10 semesters. We have listed the eligibility criteria, which says a student should score minimum 60% in 12 with English as a compulsory subject. And you also need to qualify LPU NEST exam, which is National Entrance and Scholarship Test. Or if not, if you have appeared for CLAT, in that case, LPU NEST exam can be exempted for you. Moving ahead, you can see some of the achievements, some of the rankings of this program. We have listed down the curriculum. And here comes an important part, which is the financial aspect, the fees and the scholarship. As you can see, although the without scholarship fees for this program goes 1,20,000 per semester, but there are several scholarship categories which are applicable to you. Let's say if you score tentatively between 80 to 89.9% in your 12, you will be directly eligible for 20% scholarship and your fees will be reduced to 96,000 per semester. If you scored even better, if you score between 90 to 94.9% in your 12th, you'll fall in category 2, that is of 30%, and you'll be eligible for 84,000 fees. And if you score 95% or above in your 12th, you will be eligible for 40% scholarship, reducing your fees to 72,000 per semester. Let's say if you couldn't score well on the basis of your 12th, you can also appear for LPU NEST exam in case if you haven't appeared for CLAT, or otherwise, LPU NEST exam will be compulsory for rest of the students. Apart from this, this test also acts as a scholarship test. So this is the tentative cutoff. As you can see, it is for 200 marks, and this is the tentative cutoff we have mentioned to fall in category 1, 2, or 3 scholarship for this program. Further, we have listed some other details, and there are some other scholarships on the basis of innovation, startups, and entrepreneurship, which you can explore. On the basis of sports, we have special scholarship for toppers of Education Board of 2023. We also have some financial aid. You can also share this information with your near ones who are in need of such scholarships. We have financial aid for economically weaker section, for single girl child, single mother child, for orphans, person with certain disability in case of blind, and for serving retired defense, such background as well. So if you want to know more about these scholarships, you can go through our website, or you can also drop us a mail with your details at our email ID, which is admissions@lpu.co.in. So I'll just quickly wind up with the important dates, which I suppose is very important for you to know. As you can see that the registrations are already open, and the exam for this program will be conducted between 1st February to 10th of February, and the results will be declared on 14th February, and further you will be participating in your online counseling and seat allocation process, which is a very important part. As you can see, we have mentioned the dates. Once your result has declared on 14th February, you need to participate in the online counseling and fill your preference in whichever program you are interested in. And whichever program you will mark as your first priority, accordingly, your results will be declared on 20th February, and you will have 5 days to take your admission in this program. That will be till 25th of February. So students, quickly enroll yourself for the LPU NEST exam, because it is the first step to take admission in our law programs. Apart from this, on the right side, you can see we have listed some icons for you in case if you have any queries, you want to get in touch with us. We have a schedule a call option. We have our WhatsApp team available for you. The live video counseling option is available for you. You can also go through a virtual tour 360 view of our university campus. And down here, we have listed some other details, our helpline numbers, which you can go through. So over to you, Dr. Ruby. I suppose I have shared all the basic information which is important for our students to apply for admissions at LPU. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much for enlightening the student about the admission part of the university. So attendees, I believe you have gained so much information from our today's session. So that's all for today. Thank you attendees for sparing time and participating in the webinar. We appreciate you all for being there, and I believe your knowledge has been enriched by this webinar. Also, I would like to express my appreciation to the experts for their valuable contribution. I'm sure your years of research, your years of experience will definitely help the audience to choose the right path. So until next time, I, Ruby, will finally sign off the session. Thank you, everyone.